What's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to The Order. We just got a metric ton of information for Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League via the big debut livestream. Elseworlds, new loot, villain synergies, and more. A lot to unpack, so if you missed any of the 3.5 hours of action, here's everything you need to know. Endgame missions were finally shown off in the form of Incursions. These high-end missions take place on Elseworlds and send your team into a hotly contested environment where you'll complete a series of objectives built around taking out waves of enemies before having to escape the world through a portal and back to Metropolis. One of the coolest features of these Elseworld missions I wanted to point out is how these missions are launched. There was no loading screen once the mission was initiated. Instead, the squad gets sent into this multiversal portal where you can see endless other worlds and dimensions, and then they were quite literally dropped into the Incursion mission to begin. This is pretty seamless, and again, another reason why I've been impressed with what Suicide Squad is trying to do compared to some of the live service titles it's been compared to. The biggest takeaway from these missions appears to be the difficulty. We saw a full team wipe the first go around, and there's a lot of chaos happening in and around these matches. And with limitless difficulty tiers to climb, the importance of crafting a strong build and synergizing your gear and talents was fully emphasized throughout. The missions themselves mostly revolved around similar mechanics to what we've seen from general missions in the main game. Multiple rounds of taking out enemies while working against the clock, taking down shields, etc. The overall mission design didn't offer too many surprises. The biggest question I still have is whether or not we'll see endgame content revolving around boss fights or boss-like encounters to add a bit more variety. Another standout from the mission reveals was the scoreboard feature. This is something I got to experience during the alpha. Each mission features a scoreboard that keeps track of everyone's damage and performance during that mission, complete with unique animations and a medal stand. This adds a fun sense of competition to an otherwise cooperative experience, and I think it's a great way to add a competitive energy to the mission-to-mission grind. Now, the rewards from those missions were also a deep focus of the livestream, as we got a pretty intimate look at some of the better loot items in the game. A big feature were the Infamy sets, villain-themed items that carry with them unique and powerful set bonuses. The Bane Infamy set, which appears to be the focus at launch, was shown off via several gear pieces with the full list of set bonuses available, and they are loaded. The tier 3 set bonus is disgusting. It gives a 200% bonus to grenade damage when the Bane's Rage buff is activated, and refreshes that buff when enemies are killed with your grenades, with an additional chance of generating grenade ammo. This feels like an absolute must-have gear set if you're planning on building a Firestarter Harley Quinn who's all about using grenades. We also got a look at some notorious tier items, including this Bizarro-themed shotgun that features multiple weapon effects depending on how you fire it, allowing you to use regular shots to set up alternate shots for more damage. Not to be outdone though, we saw some pretty wicked weapon perks on legendary items as well. The Precise Combo Meal Assault Rifle allows you to generate 50 combo on a critical hit, with a buff to critical chance also included. Given how many talents in your talent tree are dependent on building up a certain amount of combo to activate, a weapon like this allowing you to potentially generate that much combo and unlock all your skills is game changing. Another good example of this sort of crit synergy, the free refills pistol. With this, the gun will automatically reload after every 4 critical hits, with a 50% increased chance to critical hit. Combine this with a relatively high magazine and an additional buff to crit damage. Oof. This thing is gonna slap. And as unique weapon perks go, you won't find many more unique than this. The Health Kick Assault Rifle that replenishes health or shields on critical hits instead of doing damage. A fantastic gun for, say, a Survivor King Shark build that's going for more of a tank role on the team. There is so much variety to the guns and gear on display here, and it's easy to see just how many build possibilities there are within the game based solely on the weapons alone. We also got our first reveal of the final gear piece in the game, Lucky Charms. To date, this 8th gear slot has been hidden in all gameplay footage. It appears as if these will offer additional stat bonuses and perks, the depth of which remains to be seen. If that weren't enough, we also got the reveal of another cool gear perk in the form of villain synergies. Essentially, when you equip a certain notorious item from one villain, along with Infamy set items from another villain, you could form a villain synergy that offers an insane skill bonus. This is yet another thing to keep in mind when constructing your gear build. Seriously, anyone doubting whether or not this game would be able to nail the looter aspects of the looter shooter should be able to see by now just how much depth has been put into the gear systems in Suicide Squad. We got our first official look at squad talents as well, the post-level cap progression system. Once you hit level 30 on one of your characters, you'll unlock the ability to obtain squad points, which can be spent on various buffs, including damage increases to specific weapon types, enemy types, as well as damage reduction, and these are squad-wide bonuses. There was so much to unpack during this livestream event, but my general takeaway is that Suicide Squad is shaping up to be a much deeper RPG experience than I previously thought it would be. I think the overall foundation of what's being built here is in a much better and smarter place than a lot of people expect it to be. At worst, this is going to be a rock-solid looter shooter experience with rewarding gear worth chasing after. Time will tell whether or not the endgame grind and difficulty ramp up will be enough to keep people invested long term, but I truly believe the infrastructure is there for it to happen. What was your biggest takeaway from the livestream event, and what are you most looking forward to about Suicide Squad? If you found this video helpful or insightful at all, be sure to hit it with a like and subscribe to the channel for more gaming coverage and insight. Until next time, have a good one.